Good morning, traders. I took 3 trades this morning right around 4 a.m. I have them all on video. They were with Ctxr and Trch. So I'm just going to show you the pre-market top gainers list on Webull right now. This is at 5 a.m., but at 4 a.m. it was essentially these guys bouncing around the top 3. And I didn't get it on video because I was using my laptop for that. But that's where I got the stocks to trade. RETO was also a top gainer, but was selling off compared to its high from the aftermarket. So here, I already took my first entry. TRCH gapped up right at the beginning of the pre-market here. So that's my signal to look for an entry. And just waiting for a pullback, which it gave on this candle. So as soon as it breaks the high of this candle, which is 380, then that's where I try to get in. So let's watch this real quick because this happened very fast. So there was 381, and you see it went from 381 to 385 like in an instant. And that's when I triggered my hotkeys. And I don't know if I could have been any faster than I was to get the 381 entry, because it actually made a big difference on this trade, just that 4 cents. It usually doesn't when these stocks get this kind of energy, like this one is, running up real hard. They generally have no problem making up for a little slippage and going 2R. But in this case, so my target was 429. And you see this thing went to 420 and started pulling back. And the really annoying thing, I missed the other entry on that, on the Ctxr, but the really annoying thing is that if I would have gotten in my ideal entry of 381 with the same stop, my target would have been 417, and I would have hit my 2R target. So the idea behind this trade was correct. It's just that that slippage that I caught just from the price moving so quickly caused me to lose this trade. So now on Ctxr, there's really 2 possible entries here. It gapped up as well, so I could have entered right after this candle here made a new high, and then my stop loss would have been down here, and this thing did go 2R, but I didn't take that entry. I just didn't like the look of this, so I waited till it made a move and made a new high, and then entered on that pullback, which happens right here. So my ideal entry on this one would be 230, and my stop loss would be 223. There. 230, I get in, I get filled exactly where I want to. And my stop loss is 223. And my target is 244. So this one starts to do like a triple top here. So this is kind of frustrating trading. You see what happens there, then this sells off. So it's kind of annoying because, ideally these things run right up to your profit target without pullbacks or with very small pullbacks. And sometimes that happens, and other times you're not so lucky. This one was especially annoying because, like I said, I would have been filled at 417 if I got my ideal entry. But this is day trading. Things don't always go as planned. And the only thing you can do is follow your strategy and your plan once you're in the trade. So my stop loss here is 363. It gets very close, but again, I can't sell out until I see 363 or lower, because sometimes it comes down and bounces off and goes right back up to your target. So right there, let me just show you in real time. So I'm watching this little bubble here, 365. Also, this usually happens really fast too, because there's often a lot of people there. 362. There's a lot of people using the same stop, so. So I caught 2 cent slippage there, 361. That's not bad. And so we're still in this trade. And my idea was that, here's the A, B, and so now all of this becomes C. And so I can still take a trade here because I can take up to 3 trades. But it has to give me my entry, which is when a 1 minute candle makes a new high. So that's what I'm looking for now. And then, so this is kind of interesting because my strategy and plan says that once I have a 2R trade, a winner, that I stop trading. But here, this was kind of difficult for me because, I was committed to taking the next entry because that's what my plan says, that I have to take the, first 3 entries of, good opportunities. And like I said, this thing didn't fall below point A, so it's still a good trade. It was still in the top 3 volume. So I'm getting ready to enter this thing while this one is coming up near my profit target. But I'm like laser focused on entering as soon as this candle makes a new high, and watch how closely these 2 events happen. So there I get filled, and I have my fingers on the buy button at the same time, and you see the high is 362. I'm looking for 363. Boom, there, I get to 364 and I hit the entry. So I did end up taking another trade, even though that one went to 2R, because I was already like locked and loaded to enter on this thing. So this one, now my target is 388. This one took a while to play out. And I kept these up on my watch list just for, pure curiosity. Right now this is my 3rd trade, so I can't take any trades no matter what. And it was interesting to see how high and strongly Ctxr continued to climb. And maybe back in the day I would have felt a lot of FOMO or tried to enter again because thinking I'm missing out. And definitely didn't feel that here. And in fact, I was happy to see it continue to higher. Of course, I would have loved to, been able to take advantage of some of that profit. But there's no way for me to do that inside of my plan and my strategy. But it still made me feel good that this thing ran up, because that tells me that, I'm picking the right stocks, and, my strategy and plan works. Because if these things can go more than 2R, then that just means they're that much more likely to hit my target at 2R. And that's all I want. So now I'm still in this Trch trade, and this wasn't the most fun trade either. It gave a nice strong run, and then went sideways. But never really sold off. The volume seemed to kind of dwindle. But you notice here at 5 a.m., it's like 2 things are going to happen when you see this sideways move. And the most likely thing is that whatever the previous trend was, that's going to continue. But that doesn't have to happen. It could roll over and die, basically. But luckily at 5 a.m., some new traders came in, which often happens, around the hour mark. And they started buying Trch. I mean, I think it was still the number 2 or number 3 top gainer by volume. And it's also interesting to see RETO take off at that time, but this is no pattern that I could trade. So it was also tempting for me to weak hand this and get out early, because now I was finally in the green, in the profit. Originally, when this thing hit my profit target, I was still red, because this trade, the first trade on TRCH, was slightly riskier than the Ctxr. But at this point I'm green, so it is tempting. You see, I'm checking my account, looking, okay, I'm green. I recovered from the red and got a little profit. But my plan and my strategy says that it doesn't matter, that I have to let it hit my profit target or my stop loss, and that's it. I can't think about red or green. So if this thing came all the way back down and hit my stop, I'd be red, but it doesn't matter. Got to hold strong. This little gap up here was encouraging. That's my cat. All right, there we go. So I get filled at 388, and so that was 2 winners and 1 loser. The winner and loser was on Trch. So let's see where we ended up. So just 288 in profit, but that was with 1 loser, so not bad. And you can see with the Trch, the second trade basically made up for the first loss. So that was nice. And then because, again, the first trade was kind of a riskier trade. Let's see, I've got it right here actually. So the first trade had a 5.7% risk, and the last trade was 3.3. So that's why even though it went to 2R, it just barely made up. Plus I caught some slippage on the way out of that first trade. And then the what was that Ctxr trade was only 3% risk. So anyway, at least ended up in the green first day of the week, so that's nice. And now on the month we're up 17, 18, a little over 3%. So far so good, and we're in the last week of the month, so just try to finish the month green. Anyway, as always honor your profit target. Always take your stop losses no matter what, and in the long run you should be green. Take care.